Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of This Sparks with Zoe. I'm so excited to have you here, whether live or watching the replay later. In the next 11 episodes, what's going to happen is I'm going to answer some of the common questions that people have about the business. And since today is the very first episode of This Sparks with Zoe, I would love to take this opportunity to share with you a business rap that I have created. And I hope that you enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed creating it. Yo, it's time to take flight. This sparks with Zoe shines so bright. 10 minutes flat, that is all it takes. Let us talk about dreams and the moves we make. Step into the zone where ideas take flight. Flexibility is a spark, happiness in sight. We are learning, we are growing, no limits in view. Building vision strong, yeah, that's what we do. So tune in to not miss the glow. Biz Sparks with Zoe, watch us grow. The spark is alive, the energy flows. Catch me live, it's a 10-minute vibe. So thank you once again for joining me in my very first episode of Biz Sparks with Zoe. So without further ado, please let me share my slide and I'll go through today's session with everyone. So in today's episode, there'll be three things that we're covering. The very first thing is more about myself, and the second one is about my why in joining this digital business. And lastly, I will be answering the question about what exactly is a digital business. So firstly, let me talk a little bit about myself. I'm Zoe, a digital business mentor, and I actually guide people in setting up successful digital business. I'm also a mother to an amazing daughter, and she is my inspiration in starting this digital business. And let me move on to my why. I actually started this digital business because my daughter actually suffered two life-threatening allergic reactions. And in order to aid her recovery, I had to make her or help her to go through immunotherapy treatment. But this also meant frequent hospital appointments. And as a parent, I would really hope to be there for her. But if I'm working full time, it's really hard for me to ask for regular time off to be with her. So, in order for me to be able to accompany her, I had to reduce my working hours, which also meant a decrease in my earning potential. And it was indeed a very difficult time for me. And I chanced upon my mentor's Facebook business page about this business. And when I was looking at this business, it actually has two criteria that met my needs. Firstly, it could give me the time flexibility that I would like. And secondly, it was able to help me to maintain my earning power. And therefore, I decided to connect with her, discovered more about the business, and did my own due diligence research and realized that this was indeed a legitimate business. And therefore, I have embarked onto this digital business. So some of you may have asked me the question, why the sense of urgency? Why do I have to start it today? Because of my daughter's allergic reactions, which was life-threatening, it made me realize that time is really precious. Anything can actually happen at any point of time. And in the case of my daughter, I could have lost her in almost 30 minutes or less whenever an allergic reaction happened that was life-threatening. And so I started to view time as a form of currency, and that once it's lost, it's very hard for us to actually gain back the time again. And so, therefore, it actually sparked in me the sense of urgency to find means and methods for an alternative for me to achieve time flexibility. So, let me move on to explaining what exactly is a digital business. So, for a digital business, it runs entirely online and it uses technology for operation. So, what this means is that there is no need for us to appear at any physical shop front, and we can actually run this at the comfort of our own home as well. And what's good about it as well is that it leverages mobile devices, which can be either your handphones, your tablets, or your laptops. And as long as you have your mobile device together with an internet connection, you are able to carry out the business at anywhere and at any location. And the idea of automation is very important in a digital business. So before I move into what are the benefits of automation, let me explain automation in a simple term. So automation is actually the use of technology to handle tasks at the back end. And this is exceptionally important for tasks which are repetitive, because for repetitive tasks, if we have to be physically doing it, it takes up a lot of time for us. So if we are able to delegate this to automated processes, it eliminates the need for us to be there physically or to even manually to do this repetitive physical task. So some of the benefits of automation is that it simplifies workflow, and therefore it will free up time, allowing us to focus on things which matter more in our life when we use automation to help us. And in recent years, an example of automation is actually seen in restaurants. So if you have realized, many restaurants are actually moving towards using QR codes for us to order our food. And this is exceptionally useful for them because it simplifies their workflow and it actually frees up their manpower to focus on things which are more important in the F&B industry, which is serving customers. So let us take a look at how technology and automation can help us in this current digital business that I'm doing. So on a daily basis, I make use of automation to create and manage content. And this content is placed on various social media platforms. Secondly, I also make use of automation and technology to set up user-friendly websites that can help me to share information with interested audiences through a webinar. Lastly, I can also make use of technology and automation to automate communication, such as scheduling emails or messages on a daily basis for me. So with that being said, that's the end of my presentation, and I would like to actually invite you to join me in my next episode, which is episode 2, where I'll be answering the question about how we all can build this business while balancing family life, either as a stay-at-home parent or as a working parent. So with that, thank you very much for joining me in my first episode of BizSparks with Zoe, and I look forward to seeing you here at 9:30 next week for episode 2. Bye-bye.